Every single day you have a decision to make the moment you wake up. Are you going to run your day, or are you going to let your day run you? You want to change your life. Relationship, then stop leaving your emotional state to chance. Success doesn't begin with strategy, it begins with stay. Every morning, before the phone, before the emails, before the noise of the world gets in your head, you need to get into your body, into your heart, into your power. You need to prime your mind. Just like a pump needs to be primed before the water flows, your mind needs to be trained to focus on what strengthens you, not what weakens you. Start by breathing with intention, deep, rhythmic. Focus breathing, inhale energy, exhale tension. Do it until your body feels alive and your mind sharpens. And then take just a few minutes, 3 to 5, to flood your system with gratitude. Not surface level, I'm glad for my coffee stuff. No, go deep. Think of a moment that lit your soul on fire. A moment where love was real, where you overcame, where you felt alive. Relieve it. Breathe it in. Feel it in your cells. Because when you're grateful, fear disappears. Anger melts. Scarcity can't live in the same space. Gratitude is the antidote to suffering. You can't feel sorry for yourself and be grateful at the same time. It's impossible. And that's not philosophy. That's conditioning. That's training your nervous system to default to strength, not weakness. Then visualize, not in some fluffy, wishful thinking way, but with clarity and intensity. See the life you're building. See the relationships you want to deepen. The body you're committed to creating. The business you're going to scale. Feel what it's like to have it already. The brain doesn't know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. Use that. Wire it in. Fire it up. This is not motivation. Motivation fades. This is about conditioning your mind and body every single day so that when life punches you in the face, and it will, you don't crumble. You respond from a place of power, not panic. You train it daily until it becomes who you are. Change doesn't come from hoping, it comes from habit. And it starts the moment you wake up. Prime your mind, or the world will do it for you. And if the world does it, you're already behind. If you want to take control of your life, you have to start by taking control of your body. Because emotion is created by motion. Most people wait to feel good before they move. But the truth is, movement is what creates the feeling in the first place. You can't sit slouched over, shallow breathing, staring at a screen, and expect to feel powerful, resourceful, or driven. Your body is the fastest path to transformation, period. The moment you change your posture, change your breath, change your movement, you change your state. And when your state changes, your decisions change, your actions change, and over time, that changes everything. So you don't just move, you move with intention. You train like it matters, because it does. You walk with purpose. You train your body not just for health, but for leadership, for energy, for strength. This isn't about getting a six-pack. It's about mastering the machine that drives every experience you have in life. This is about rewiring the way you show up. You jump, you stretch, you sweat, you breathe, you break the mental fog before it even starts. You think great leaders, high performers, visionaries just roll out of bed and start crushing it.
No.
They train their body to fuel their mind, because energy isn't something you wait for. It's something you generate. And you generate it by moving differently. Stand up tall. Shoulders back. Breathe deeply. Do this consistently and watch how quickly fear, doubt, and laziness get pushed aside by clarity and fire. And if you really want to flip the switch fast, shock the system. Take the cold shower. Do the sprint. Dive into the discomfort that forces you to grow. Because when you willingly do what's hard every day, life gets easier. When you move with power, you think with power. You don't wait for inspiration. You become it. Most people tiptoe through life hoping to make it safely to death. That's not the game we're here to play. This is about owning every step, commanding your energy, and stepping into a version of you that's unstoppable. You don't need more time, you need more energy. And that starts in your physiology. Train your body like your life depends on it, because it does. If you want to change your life, you have to change what you feed your mind. Every single day, you're either building yourself or breaking yourself based on what you're allowing in. Your mind is like fertile soil. Whatever you plant in it will grow. So the question is, are you planting seeds of power, strength, possibility, or are you letting weeds of fear, doubt, and distraction take over? You can't expect to live an extraordinary life while consuming ordinary thoughts. The brain is a survival machine. Left unchecked, it will always drift toward fear, toward what's missing. What's wrong? What could go wrong? That's its default setting. But you're not here to live by default, you're here to live by design. And that means you must feed your mind intentionally, every single day like your life depends on it, because it does. Start your day with something that empowers you. Read a page that challenges your thinking. Listen to a podcast that ignites your purpose. Watch something that stirs your soul instead of something that numbs it. Don't wait for motivation. Go find it. Create it. People say they don't have time, but they scroll 2 hours on social media, filling their minds with noise. You don't get stronger feeding on junk, and your mind is no different. Garbage in, garbage out. Power in, power out. You need to surround yourself with ideas that elevate you, with thoughts that expand your vision. The right idea at the right moment can shift your destiny. One powerful quote, one story, one insight, it can become the trigger that wakes you up to what's possible. But you won't get that if you're feeding on gossip, distractions, or negativity. You have to protect the gates of your mind like your future depends on it. This is about raising your standards for what you consume. Because what you feed your mind becomes the lens through which you see your world. You start feeding it strength, and soon you'll start seeing solutions instead of problems. You'll start seeing opportunity where others see limits. That's not luck, that's conditioning. The people who break through, who dominate in life. Relationship, who create meaning and momentum, they're not just physically disciplined, they're mentally obsessed with growth. You want more out of life, then you need to give your mind better fuel. Feed it daily, challenge it constantly, and never ever settle for mental junk food. You become what you consistently think about. So think bigger, feed it with fire, feed it with vision, and feed it with the truth of who you really are, because the world has enough average. What it needs is people who have trained their minds to be unstoppable. Relationship, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask yourself. Every moment you are asking questions, whether you realize it or not. The problem is relationship. Most people don't even know they're asking the wrong questions. They're unconsciously asking, why is this happening to me? Or why am I always stuck? They're asking questions that create pain, that reinforce their sense of helplessness, and keep them trapped in a cycle of frustration. But here's the truth: the moment you shift the questions you ask, you shift the direction of your life. You see, questions are the tools that shape your perception and determine your outcomes. They direct your focus and tell your brain what to look for. So if you're asking, why am I so tired all the time? Your brain will search for all the reasons why you're drained. Your busy schedule, your lack of sleep, your stress. It will find those reasons and feed them to you, keeping you stuck in a cycle of exhaustion. But if you ask yourself, what can I do right now to feel energized? Your brain will find solutions. It will give you answers on how to shift your energy, how to get moving, how to break through the mental fog. The key is to be aware of the questions you're asking and consciously change them. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, ask what's possible. Instead of complaining about what you don't have, ask yourself, what can I give today? Shift from, why can't I ever get ahead, to, what can I learn right now that will push me forward? When you ask empowering questions, you unlock new ways of thinking. You begin to see opportunities even in challenges. You start looking for solutions instead of problems, and your mind will work overtime to find the answers. Great leaders, high performers, and those who truly change their lives don't just sit back and wait for inspiration to strike. They take control by asking the questions that get them into motion. They ask themselves, what can I do today to grow? Who can I connect with that will elevate me? What am I grateful for right now? The more you practice this, the more you realize that life isn't happening to you. It's happening for you. It's simply a series of problems, challenges, and opportunities to grow. And the questions you ask shape how you experience it. Imagine waking up every day and asking yourself, how can I make today extraordinary? What do you think would happen? Your mind would shift, your actions would change, and you'd begin to build momentum like never before. You'd stop wasting time asking questions that make you feel stuck or small. Instead, you'd begin to ask the questions that push you into action, that get you closer to the person you're becoming. The most powerful thing you can do right now is to reprogram your thinking by asking better questions. The difference between where you are and where you want to be lies in the questions you ask yourself each and every day. Ask questions that inspire you. Ask questions that activate your power. Ask questions that align you with the future you want to create. Because the moment you do, your life will begin to shift. And you'll realize that the answers you're seeking have always been within you, just waiting for the right question to unlock them. The right question isn't just a tool. It's the key to everything. Ask better questions and watch your life transform before your eyes. If you want to change your life, you have to commit to one thing above all else: constant progress. So many people think that success comes from a single breakthrough, a moment of luck, or an overnight shift. But let me tell you, the truth is far simpler and far more powerful. Success isn't about waiting for some magic moment or hoping that everything will suddenly come together. It's about showing up every single day and committing to improving, even just a little bit, in some small way. Every day, you get to decide whether you'll take a step forward or stay where you are. And while the path may feel long, each step you take compounds, and before you know it, you've achieved what once seemed impossible. The truth is, no one becomes great in an instant. It's the daily discipline that leads to lasting change. It's the commitment to progress, to the constant pursuit of better, that separates those who achieve their dreams from those who merely dream of achieving. You don't need to take giant leaps every day. You don't have to feel like you're constantly pushing mountains. What matters is that you take some kind of action, no matter how small, every single day. It's the accumulation of these moments, these actions, that ultimately builds the life you desire. Most people are waiting for that moment of motivation, that flash of inspiration. But inspiration doesn't come from waiting, it comes from doing. It comes from deciding that no matter what, you'll keep moving forward. The difference between someone who reaches their goals and someone who doesn't isn't talent or resources. It's the relentless commitment to progress. No matter how small it may seem in the moment. It's the decision to keep going when things are tough, to keep learning, growing, and expanding even when you don't feel like it. Progress isn't always linear. Some days you'll feel like you're moving forward at lightning speed, and other days it will feel like you're stuck in place. But in every single moment, there's a choice to make, to either stay in that moment of stuckness or to move, even if it's just 1 inch forward. Every inch counts, every small action adds up. And one day, you'll look back and realize that those small, consistent actions created the massive shift you were hoping for. And here's the secret. True progress comes when you focus on improving yourself, not your circumstances. If you're only focused on changing what's outside of you, you're missing the most important piece of the puzzle. The world around you is a reflection of your inner growth. When you commit to constant progress within yourself, everything else begins to shift. Your relationships improve because you're a better partner, friend, and leader. Your career accelerates because you are more skilled, more confident, more driven. Your health transforms because you are making daily choices that add up over time. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be consistent. It's about showing up day after day, ready to get better. And with that commitment, success becomes inevitable. It may take time, but with every step forward, no matter how small, you are getting closer to your goals, closer to the person you are meant to become. Every moment of progress fuels the next, and soon, the person you once dreamed of being becomes the person you now are. You've proven that it's the small things that add up, and with consistency and commitment to progress, you can create a life far beyond what you ever thought was possible. So today, make the decision, commit to progress, commit to improvement, commit to taking action, no matter how small, each and every day. And let that commitment be the foundation of your success. You'll find that in the end, the person you've become on the journey is more powerful than the destination itself. If you want to experience true fulfillment and reach a level of success that transcends material wealth or superficial accomplishments, you must embrace the idea of giving more than you take. Life isn't about accumulating as much as you can or only focusing on what's in it for you. The most extraordinary people in the world are those who live to give. They understand that the key to true abundance lies in the value they bring to others, not in the transactions or possessions they collect. The paradox is this: when you give more than you take, you receive far more than you could ever imagine. Now, this isn't about giving out of obligation or expecting something in return. This is about giving with intention, with a heart full of generosity, knowing that what you give doesn't just help others, it transforms you. When you give without strings attached, you elevate not only the people you're helping but also yourself. It shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance. It shifts your focus from what can I get to what can I give. And when you do that consistently, you build a life filled with deeper connections, greater purpose, and a sense of satisfaction that can never be achieved through self-serving pursuits. Think about it. Every day, you have an opportunity to make someone else's life better. Whether it's through a kind word, a thoughtful gesture, offering your time, or simply showing up for others when they need you. The more you give, the more you build a foundation of trust and goodwill. You become someone people want to be around, someone who uplifts and supports others. And in doing so, you create a ripple effect of positivity that not only transforms those around you but comes back to you in ways you can't even predict. When you give, you create a network of people who value you, not just for what you can do for them, but for who you are and what you stand for. And here's the truth. The universe operates on a law of reciprocity. When you give more than you take, you open yourself up to receiving more in return. This doesn't mean you give with the expectation of receiving something back in a direct way. It's about the principle that the more value you bring into the world, the more value comes back to you, sometimes in ways you never anticipated. It might come in the form of a new opportunity, a deeper relationship, or even a breakthrough you didn't see coming. Giving sets into motion a flow of energy that amplifies everything in your life. But let's not forget, it's also the intangible rewards of giving that are the most powerful. When you give, you feel a sense of purpose that goes beyond material success. You feel a connection to something greater than yourself, a sense of community and contribution that nourishes your spirit. This deep sense of fulfillment is the kind of wealth that lasts forever. It's the kind of wealth that no one can take from you. You can't measure it in dollars or accolades, but you can feel it in your heart. And this is the real treasure. Giving more than you take also builds a mindset that propels you toward even greater success. It frees you from the shackles of selfishness and scarcity, and it pushes you to think beyond yourself, to consider the impact you can have on others. It helps you to focus on legacy instead of ego, on making a difference rather than climbing the corporate ladder for the sake of personal gain. You begin to see the interconnectedness of everything. relationship, you realize that helping others isn't just a moral act, it's a strategic one. Because when you give, you're not just helping someone else, you're creating a powerful network of supporters, collaborators, and allies who share in your vision. But the most incredible thing happens when you make giving a part of your daily life. You stop living with the fear of scarcity. You stop worrying about what you're not getting. You stop thinking in terms of, I don't have enough, and start thinking in terms of, how can I make the world better today? And when you do that, you'll be amazed at how quickly life begins to change for the better. You'll notice that you feel more energized, more alive, more driven. You will attract the very things you once sought by simply being of service to others. And that, my friend, is when true transformation happens. The power of giving isn't just about the material things you offer, it's about giving your time, your energy, your presence, your empathy, and your care. The more you give in these ways, the more you open the door to a life that is richer than anything money can buy. A life filled with gratitude, abundance, and deep connection. So, commit today to give more than you take. Don't hold back. Pour yourself into the lives of others and watch how the universe pours back into you in ways you can't even begin to imagine. In the end, your life is a reflection of the choices you make every single day, the habits you choose to cultivate, whether it's priming your mind, moving with intention, feeding your mind with the best, asking empowering questions, committing to constant progress, or giving more than you take, are the building blocks of extraordinary transformation. Each of these habits works together to create a foundation for a life that's not just successful, but deeply fulfilling. It's not about waiting for the right moment, the perfect circumstances, or the magic formula. It's about showing up every day with intention, consistency, and a commitment to growth. You have the power to design your life, to shift your state, and to create the results you desire. The world doesn't shape you, you shape the world by how you show up in it. When you take control of your habits and align them with your vision, you open the door to limitless possibilities. So ask yourself, what small action can you take today to move you closer to the life you've always dreamed of? The power is already within you, and every moment is an opportunity to step into the greatest version of yourself. The question is, are you ready to commit to the daily habits that will change your life? Because your future starts right now, and it begins with the choices you make today.